And so I started by hosting a virtual happy hour. And it turns out, even on that first day, that I had skills for virtual facilitation that others didn't. I had been running small groups for a while. I had been trained to run virtual masterminds. I had an instinct and I had been given some time to practice some stuff. I knew nothing about the Zoom settings beyond the basics. I actually thought you had to pay extra for Zoom breakout rooms, couldn't think of why I needed them, right? So there was a lot in my head that I didn't know and I needed to learn. That business took off so fast, and by the I don't know 8-10 months later, I had become a virtual event design consultant and an executive Zoom producer. I had a thriving 6-figure business by the end of 2020, all new revenue streams. I created a certification program. I was being hired by companies. So people kept saying, how are you doing that? So I wrote my second book, Small List, Big Results, Launch a Successful Offer No Matter the Size of Your Email List, because I am a business coach and I followed my own best advice about how to test an idea by doing research calls. So just to get back to your question, yes, it has to be a good book. That is sort of my main assumption when a client comes to me. It is a useful book, because what is the point of putting crap? Because that's permanently on your record. I mean, your school record is long gone. This follows you. So if you write a really crap toxic book, whether it's AI written or you just don't even bother to get it edited by a professional, and you throw it up there, you will probably attract some negative reviews, formatting issue reviews. This book needed another 3 editors. English must not be your first language.
Oh
Like,
my God.
just real negative stuff. So yes, it has to be not just a good book, but a valuable book. So that second book that I wrote, people really did want to know. And I had this process called Wake Up Your Network, which is how to identify likely prospects and referral partners from your existing network, do research calls with them to validate an idea, go away, tinker with the idea, make it into a program, come back and ask a few of those people if they'd like to pilot it, and then move from there. And this does not require ads or updating your website. It's like just going with people who kind of already have that trust with you and meeting their needs. I finally, in March of 2023, came out with my third book, which is a book about how to use Zoom. And by then I had 3 years of expertise running these Zoom events of varying sizes. I mean, I was using 4 and 5 day, 3-track, 2-track conferences. I had created a certification program that I ran for a few years where I had Zoom producers I had certified who were either working for me or out on their own, so that I could have multiple tracks happening. And so that is my biggest book. It's like a really huge resource guide, how to, and it's called Break Out of Boredom, Low Tech Solutions for Highly Engaging Zoom Events. And that was the moment where actually my business was starting to tip a little bit, and the Zoom stuff really wasn't happening as much. I'm really glad I wrote the book. It's still really useful. A lot of people are using it. I honestly think a lot of 6 and even 7-figure entrepreneurs need it, because in the interim, in 2025, I've been on virtual events that were run by these 7-figure entrepreneurs where things went wrong. Now, if it had been 2020, we'd all have grace, but it's not. Like, you should know whether your account has Zoom breakout rooms enabled. You should have someone else managing your chat and keeping an eye on it, so if people can't hear you, they can contact you to say, we're not here. We should have someone who knows how to manage their slides and knows to not just hide behind their slides, but actually speak directly to the camera now and again. Super basic stuff that we all should have figured out in the first year, if not the first 6 months of doing it. So I do think it's still needed, but I needed to come up with another way forward. And I was starting to test in 23 and 24 some different ideas. In 23, I must have tested like 3 different ideas at the end of 23. And this one thing kept coming up, which was that all 3 of the books that I had done had hundreds of reviews on Amazon. And I don't just mean the stars ratings, I mean written reviews. And that's a very rare thing for someone who's not a household name. How did I do that? Everyone wanted to know.